time.
What do you do? Take us through. I mean, what is the best way to try and approach containing LeBron, guys?
Well, I think first you have to accept the fact that he's going to have success. And I think in terms of what Sam just showed, to me, the strategy's got to be not to let those other guys really get going. I can't give Korver 16 or 18. I can't let J.R. Smith get 15 or 16. You know, I can't let those guys, because that's when they can become unbeatable. If those guys are putting up those kind of numbers and Kevin Love's getting 20 and 12, then you got no chance. I think what you saw, and I think what Boston is better at than, say, Toronto was, they're going to be more disciplined. Because that motion, Kyle Korver is so critical to their success because he occupies eyeballs and bodies. Because his movement has to be guarded. Well, that means if I'm that focused on his movement, that's one less guy LeBron's got to worry about in dealing with. And so that, to me, I think, Sam, they've got to do a really good job of not allowing those easy cuts backdoor for baskets, wide open rhythm threes out of rotations. If they can limit those. And that's what Golden State did a great job of last year in the finals. They didn't let those guys hurt him. LeBron got his, but because he didn't get help from those other guys, they had success. I think Boston's got to have a similar game plan.
We're going to do something. Greg is going to be LeBron James.
Uh-oh.
So we get to live a fantasy. So one thing, I wouldn't come at LeBron when he's at the top right now, because now, Casey, if you and I are coming to trap, now there's 4-on-3 behind us. LeBron James can see everybody, right? And he's going to pick you apart because he's got the best vision of anyone in the last 20 years in the NBA. What I'm going to do, what I would do, Greg, I'm going to put Marcus Smart on LeBron to pick him up 94 feet. Now, LeBron is smart. So, Casey, you're picking up LeBron. Let's tell you what LeBron's going to do. He's going to hit the wing.
And go right
and
to
he's
that
going to
block,
take you
baby.
to the post. And this
Come on
is
down
what
here,
I
little
want.
Miles in the house.
Now, this is the thing. I'm not going to front LeBron. Now, these are the different ways you can come at LeBron. Once he makes that pass, if the passer holds, I'm going to drop in his lap. I got a guy, two guys in the eye, and I got a guy in the slot. Now, if the passer passes it and cuts, I can take my guy to the basket. Once he gets to the front of the rim, the weak side defender comes over and takes him, and this guy can peel back and trap. Also, you can come from the 1X spot, the 2X spot, and you can come from the low spot, but I wouldn't recommend that you never leave the basket. So the thing that, for me, is I would bait LeBron by making him work with a smaller guy. I would force him down to the post because LeBron, when he sees Marcus Smart, he's going to go to the post. But when I set my defense, I can come at him from different ways. I can keep him off balance, and this is what I love. I can now dictate where that pass goes. Because if I pass and hold, you keep this defender home. So if I want to come from the 1X spot, I can come, the other two guys get in the eye. Now, all of a sudden, I can leave and dictate where I want the pass to go. And this is another thing. If I'm sitting in this top spot and this guy holds and that slot guy dies, which is the bottom guy going to take him, and I know that we're leaving that guy open, I'm not going to send my low guy because now you're never going to get to the corner. What I'm going to do is bait that pass. So now I'm leaning, so when that ball goes, I'm there on time as the pass gets there. So now I can set my rotations, and I can get my defense where I want them to be, and I can dictate where I want the ball to go. The problem with LeBron when you're guarding LeBron is when you let him dictate where the pass go and he gets you in the scramble mode, now it's hard to get to those shooters. By putting him on the block, I can now force the pass that I want, which gives me a better chance to get to those shooters because I'm leaning in that direction and I know where the pass is going.
The one problem with Marcus Smart here is Marcus Smart's too small. He's just too small. So he's not going to, like, again, LeBron knows what you want to do. So when he goes direct post, he's going to go before you have a chance to figure out how you want to play.
You better come on.
He's 6'8".
Yeah.
You 6'3". He's going to go.
Now, Casey,
tonight,
Greg's point,
and that's
on
the part
daylight. What I'm telling him, when that guy picks that ball up and when it leaves his fingertips by that much, whoever's going, you're going. Because, again, to Greg's point, if you go once he gets the ball, he can just take one dribble, shoot a fadeaway jump shot. But if LeBron, as he catches the ball, and we're here, now what we want to do is make LeBron take an escape dribble to jump up in the air and make a pass and put some air on it. And by him putting air on that pass,
you can rotate.
It gives us a chance to rotate and to be there as the guy, the shooter, receives the ball. the defenders there to close out.
Let me ask you this. How much does it pay from a coaching standpoint and from a defender standpoint throw as many different bodies as possible?
Bradley, you heard what DZ said. More important, it's different bodies, but it's also different ways to play. The thing about basketball is you cannot allow a great player to get a rhythm and a cadence to what you're doing. You can't come down and double him 35 straight times. You know, you got to make him think. By that, I mean, sometimes I might come from top. I might come from a wing.
might come from the
I
side.
might not come. But every time that he doesn't
I might
know,
hard
he may come hard. Like, you've got to mix it up. Then, okay, now we're not going to have Marcus Smart on him. We're going to put Morris on him. Now we go with Jaylen.
Jaylen Brown.
You know, we're going to mix up our coverages because everybody defends differently. You know, like when you get a heavy, and that's what happened, I thought, with Toronto. Anunoby, after a while, he just got a cadence to him.
Yeah.
And the kid, as good as he is, he's a young rookie playing the best basketball player on the planet. And that guy is really smart. So he's going to figure it out. I think Brad Stevens brings a different element. First of all, they have far more versatility in terms of what they can do and their rotations. And the other thing you got to do when you want to have success against LeBron, you got to pressure the basketball. And that's where Boston, I think, can affect this Cavaliers team. They can pressure at all the positions. They can guard one-on-one with everybody. And I don't think you'll see as many breakdowns defensively as we saw in that clip with Toronto.
In case, the one thing about cross-checking, the thing I want to do, too, if whoever's guarding LeBron, when the shot go up and you box out, you got to run. Because this is the hardest thing to do in basketball. Normally, as a coach, you match up how the other team matches up. You guard who's guarding you, because the hardest thing is, if I'm guarding LeBron, but LeBron guarding someone else and that guy's on the inside of the floor, you're not going to ask LeBron to sprint from here to over there to try to get back in transition defense. So by this guy running, you force LeBron now to get out, because you got to make LeBron work, because you know on defense, Greg, what LeBron tries to do is play center field.
Yep.
He's not really guarding anyone. He's guarding areas. You got to make LeBron James guard individuals, fight off screen, run in transition, and all those little things come fourth quarter, add up and starts wearing him down a little.
You know, you guys played in an era and in a rivalry where if a guy was a star, you'd bump him, you'd touch him as much as humanly possible. We don't see that necessarily anymore. But Lance Stevenson, the Pacers, tried a little bit more of that. Do you expect that with guys like Smart and Morris, GA, they're going to try as much as they can to make him uncomfortable?
The irony of that is, it's hard to bump the bully.
Man.
That's what I was going to say. It's hard to bully the bully.
Yeah.
And so that part's not going to affect. And the other thing is to Sam. The guy's been in this league 15 years. He's trying to go to his 8th final. They ain't nothing he hadn't seen. So ultimately, what they got to do is just be tighter with rotations, with their ball pressure.
Execute.
And the other thing, and Sam made the point about turnovers. That's the other thing they've got to avoid. And turnovers just aren't live ball turnovers. They're bad shots. Because if you get him in transition, if you go back last season in the conference final, he had so many plays going downhill off of missed shots and live ball turnovers that you have no answer for. There is no defense when he gets a full head of steam coming at you and you're cross-matched. So, again, it's about being disciplined offensively. Shot selection has to be good. Floor balance has to be good. And then defensively, we can't have breakdowns because he does what Golden State does as a team. He's the best at taking advantage of your mistakes. Like you saw that Kyle Korver play. When you miss a coverage, because of his size and his skill, he's gonna make you pay. So they're gonna have to be honed in. You're not gonna see the mistakes from Cleveland that you saw from Philadelphia mentally. And Boston knows this. So I do think they're gonna be a little bit more honed in and play a little bit better than we saw them a season ago.
Casey, if I can take LeBron out as many plays possible offensively and play 4-on-4, my best 4 players in Boston against Cleveland best 4 players, minus LeBron, the more I can get them to play basketball like that, the more advantage it is for the Celtics. But once you add LeBron into the equation, that's like playing 6 against 5, and that's not fair.
Sounds easy enough, right?
Yeah.
We got more coming up as we get you ready for Eastern Conference Final game number 1.